Hey, how you guys doing? So today is Wednesday, it's noontime, and it's time for the Real Talk with JT. So the topic of today's show, it will be photography, image, is everything. How to sell your homes in 2018. 2018 brings with a new breed of home buyers. The people, everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on Facebook these days. And the image is everything. If the image is not good and you're not going to be able to capture the information in the first look, the second look, you have no chance, right?
That's right.
So it's really the first look. In today's market, the millennials, between mid-20s to mid-30s, they position to make up about 43% of the home buying power. So that's huge. And the millennials, they have a very high expectation of the home. They want the kitchen to be modern, open floor plan, granite or quartz, tall cabinets, beautiful bathrooms, stand-up showers. Everything has to be really, really top-notch. And many times it is top-notch, but it doesn't show as top-notch. And that's really where the imaginary, where the image, the photography really comes into place. Now, how do you net the most money and do it fast? This question becomes even more crucial as you decide to sell your home on your own. Because now you are competing with all the real estate professionals who literally move the real estate market. So where do you begin? How do you net a great offer? And photography, professional photography, is actually one of the things that's going to make you stand out from the competition. So today I have my great friend, great guest, and the guy who makes the image look the best, Steven Babeko from Tour Factory.
Thank you, John.
So Steven, tell us something about yourself. How did you get into the photography? Why photography? How long have you been doing it? Give us a little history about yourself.
Oh wow, how much time do we have?
30 minutes.
All right.
30 minutes. Well, right now, more like 27 actually.
Well, I am a second-generation photographer. I've been helping my uncle, my dad, in the photography business, photographing events since I was 7 years old. And I quickly realized that I really didn't want to photograph people. I had a pull towards architectural photography, interiors, real estate. And so as the business was born, and really I did real estate for a little bit, and it really made me realize that what was missing with people going to the internet is how can we get the properties faster, easier, cheaper, and in the best possible light to the consumer.
So you used to sell real estate actually?
Right. I used to sell real estate. This was a while ago. So the photography is what I have passion for. Really warped itself into architectural real estate photography, where we could show homes online, and not just with pictures, with video, with virtual tours, with 360, 3D virtual tours, with aerial photography. You name it, we can produce a media that will show off your home in the best possible light.
It's really art, right? Photography, in its way.
Correct. And often we visit a house, and the seller would tell us, "Oh, I really have good pictures of my home because I've been living here for so many years."
All the time, right?
Yes. But then they have, their family in the pictures, and it's not really pictures of their home. It's pictures of a Christmas tree. It's a picture of kids swimming in the pool. It's a picture of their memories. It's not really a right photo to sell the house. In fact, what we recommend before we show up to a photo shoot is depersonalize your home so that the consumer, real estate consumer looking online, can actually connect with your home and not be distracted with all your personal things, and can help get you to the closing table faster and then easier, and then just a better experience.
So, I have some stats over here, and you were sharing some stats with me previously. Would you mind to share those?
Right. In 2016 and 2017, according to National Association of Realtors, most buyers, they came to see a house for the first time. It took them anywhere between 2 weeks to 9 months to do their research. So think about this.
Just the research.
Just to do research anywhere between 2 weeks to 9 months. So what did they do during that time? They went online and they eliminated properties based on visual marketing, whether they were looking for a fixer-upper, so they just wanted to see a floor plan, or whether they were looking for a ready home, so they were looking for great pictures and perhaps video. So if they're eliminating properties based on visual marketing, it seems like it's just natural to have great photography, floor plans, video for your home online for them to see. With my experience recently, which is very interesting for me to see as a professional in the industry, I recently purchased a home, and I went online and I signed up. Most websites that have real estate listings today will allow you to put in an email address, and they'll send you real estate listings on daily basis. So
as they come.
That's right, in the zip code that you specify. So that's what I did. I put in a zip code that was interesting to me, and every day in the morning I would get 3 to 5 new listings. Okay, as they came in, I looked at some, and some I didn't, because they had this thing that said photo coming soon. So the listing hit the market, but there were no pictures, and the house sounded the same: 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. They all sounded the same. So what I did, I bookmarked that website on the Internet Explorer site. I said, you know what, I'll go back to it in a few days to look if the pictures were loaded. But I never did. What I realized after I purchased my home, I started deleting all those bookmarks because I never really looked back, because every day all the different websites would send me new listings. So I was busy looking at stuff that had pictures and never really looked back at anything that had either subpar or no photography at all. So that was my experience personally.
So I mean, and that is so true. You know, usually what I tell the clients, you know, once you actually come on the stage, when you become the new home up for sale, that's actually when everybody's going to get the update.
That's right.
With the home, right? And it's actually the only chance you're going to have to impress the buyer and sort of entice him to give you a call and look at the place. So we don't actually put a home up for sale unless not only we have photos, but we have professional photography being done, because I think that's a must.
That's right. You put your best foot forward, and like the phrase that we all know, you never really have a second chance to make a first impression. So when you have all your ducks in a row and you put the property on the market with great photography, you have a better and quicker chance of getting the right person to make an offer.
The photography stat, it says that buyers spend 60%. So when they're searching online, they actually spend 60% of their time looking at the photos, and only 20% looking at the listing description.
It makes sense. Makes sense. In my opinion, they look at the pictures first.
For sure.
Okay, and when they see something they like, then they want to go in depth. So then they start reading the description. They look at all the other stuff. They start researching the schools and everything else. But first thing they do, it's easier for them. You know, whether they're using a mobile device or a computer to scroll through the pictures, and pictures what attracts them to your home.
Now you see the other stat, it says from CBS News, the homes with high, not only photos, but with high quality photos receive 40% more high asking price per square foot.
That's correct.
47%.
That's correct.
That's incredible. And 80% of the buyers cite pictures as very important. 83%. So it's so true. I mean, if the home doesn't have photos, you know, what does the buyer assume? He assumes immediately that the home either is completely turned down, right, or needs a lot of renovations.
Right. So perception is the key. So the photography has to match your asking price. Okay. If you asking a certain price for your home, but the photos really don't convey that asking price, then that's what makes them to either eliminate or to move on to the next property. So they start thinking either the seller is unreasonable or they're hiding something. So what you want to do is you want to match the asking price to the photography. Okay, and that's where these stats come in.
Now they say that the buyer, you really have only 2 seconds to grab their attention of the buyer when they're scrolling down through all the homes on the website. Only 2 seconds. That's incredible.
Correct. We've been spoiled with with all the TV shows that change their frame every 2 to 3
That's-
seconds. So our attention span is, and the way we pay attention to things, and if you don't grab their attention in 2 seconds, they'll just move on to the next one.
To somebody else.
Yeah, they'll look at the front photo of the house, and then they'll look at one in the inside, and they'll make a decision right away whether they want to see any more or not.
So also it's important not only have the professional photography being done, not only have multiple photos, but
Correct.
have the best photos right at the beginning, right?
That's
so when
correct.
they're searching through, you can really grab their attention right away. Now, and also you mentioned now with all the shows, HGTV and the Hollywood homes and luxury homes and stuff like that, everybody loves to
That's
loves
right.
to watch these shows, right?
That's right.
And so their expectation immediately goes up. They see these Beverly homes, full renovated and stuff like that. Now, when they're looking to buy, guess what? They're looking to get something similar, if not the same, possibly.
Correct.
Now, this is actually good stuff for the agents, guys. Agents who outsource photography, meaning they will hire a professional photographer for the job. Okay, they
Like
wouldn't,
John does.
they wouldn't go with their cell phone camera or send the wife over or the cousin try to take the photography. And I gotta tell you a funny story. Sometimes when I search the MLS and stuff like that, you see some really funny photos.
That's correct.
You see photos with the fingers. You see photos the agents taking the picture from the car, so you see the wipers and the dirty windshield. You see the dog sitting over there with a cat, or the homeowner actually trying to escape from the photo, but they snap it over there. You see pizza, on the table.
My favorite one is when they're trying to take a picture of the bathroom and there's a mirror right in front of them, and you can see who is taking the picture. Fortunately, we have a name for it now. It's called a selfie.
So,
Right.
so so they said the agents who outsource, the photography, only 35% of them actually do that.
Hmm.
So 1 out of 3 actually they would outsource the photography. Now, Steve, tell me, when it comes to the process, right? So you say the first step really will be to personalize the home, really make sure that you take the photography out, you clean it up, you set it up. What is the next step for you once you arrive at the property and all these things are done?
Well, the photographer shows up and then photographs the home in the best possible light, all the important rooms, and then submits the pictures to the real estate agent, and the real estate agent puts it up on the market, and then also our service syndicates it to multiple websites on the internet, and it just gives you that much more exposure. I mean, my question was always over the years, if you had the best photography money can buy, but no one has seen those pictures, what are they worth? So you really want the best exposure possible, which is done really by the real estate agent, where they put it on their local MLS and it just goes out to all the different websites. We use professional DSLR cameras with a wide-angle lens and usually 1 or 2 light sources outside of the camera, which is a flashlight, speed light, and natural light is also a good friend. So, and then we of course adjust the photos in Photoshop, where we make them brighter. We usually adjust all the exterior photos. For example, we'll add blue sky on the exterior.
Yeah, I was always wondering how come on the photography it's always nice and sunny day over there.
Right, we try to stay as true as possible to what it could be, as opposed to augmenting something really like changing all the kitchen cabinets or erasing something like there's a
hole in the wall.
Right. Anything that going to be adjusted by the seller or really, for example, blue sky. Of course, they get a blue sky, but if we happen to photograph it on a day that's overcast, we'll replace the sky to make the picture more inviting, and it just looks better.
And I mean, Steve, I know you said you use the wide angle lens, and I know why. But can you tell, why do you use that lens instead of the regular lens? What's the difference?
Well, wide-angle lens, of course, may distort a room a bit, but the feedback we get from buyers, they want to see the entire room. They just want to see the entire room because they want to know where they're going to put their furniture. They want to know whose room is going to be, or what the room is like anyway, whether it's a dining room or a bedroom. They just want to see the entire room. And this is the real reason we use a wide-angle lens. Wide-angle lens really means you get more of the room.
Do you know like how much is it? 180 or is it
It's
120?
not really 180. It's probably about 120. Yeah.
120.
Yeah.
So it's almost like eyesight,
Yes.
sort of like eyesight.
It's what we see with our eyes, right?
Oh wow. Okay. Now there's the new one right now. I heard about it. I think you mentioned you said the 3D.
3D. That's right. There are 3D virtual tours where actually it can make you feel like you're walking through the property, where whether you want to use it on a mobile device or on a computer, or you decide to take a step further and wear virtual reality glasses and really just look around and then walk through the property.
It's amazing.
It makes you feel like it can be compared to a video game-like environment where you feel like you're walking through, only it's a real house.
That's amazing. So I mean, I think that's maybe where the future is going. So again, if you have no photos, I guess you don't have the 3D walk, right? And if you don't have professional photos, you might have the walk, but I don't think you're going to enjoy it so much. So with the 3D, right? How do they do it? Do they stitch the photos together?
Well, the technology is they bring a camera and they set it in the middle of the room and they just scan the entire room with a remote control. I believe it's controlled with an iPad, and then they replace that tripod with a camera to another spot, and then they just keep doing it. It takes on the average 2,000 square foot to scan about an hour. So they scan the entire house, so when a viewer looking online really feels like they can visit every nook and cranny of the house.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And is it something similar? I remember back in the days we used to do those virtual tours when you sit down and you spin in a room.
It's similar, only this one is we used to do one panorama in one room. This one you probably do 10 panoramas in one room, so it makes it feel like seamless. It feels like you're walking through it.
It's more complex. It's more in
A little more,
depth.
yes.
Okay. Do you guys do floor plans as well?
Yes.
I know sometimes the layout, the floor plans and stuff like that is very important.
Correct. Well, so together with photography, we do. We actually come out and we measure your house and we create a floor plan, a 2D floor plan that allows the consumer, real estate consumer online, to kind of gauge what the space is like. That layout is helpful throughout the process. Then the buyers looking at it, they can actually say, and then the everyone starts choosing which room is theirs. So they're looking at the size of furniture, and then of course it helps the buyers after they buy the house to go out with that floor plan and purchase furniture, or whether they want to replace floors or they want to buy paint. They have real measurements of the room, so it kind of helps them throughout the home ownership life cycle, from the time you put it on the market to all the way when the new buyers decide to put it on the market. So it's a really helpful tool for everyone involved. And of course it helps, you can show that to your appraiser when the appraiser comes. So you tell them, because they have to do the sketch, so you could show them we've already done the floor plan, you can verify the measurements and use it.
Making the job easier for you.
Correct.
And how about staging? I know we used to do before the virtual staging.
Correct.
So many of the homes might be vacant, and sometimes it's better if they have the furniture inside. Right?
That's correct. Virtual staging is not a new product, but it has come a long way. I remember when we just started offering virtual staging about 10 years ago, we only had 5 furniture collections. Today we have an unlimited amount of stuff we can actually stage the room with. And virtual staging accomplishes a couple of goals. Number one, it kind of helps you understand what the size of the room is, because when you're looking at the photo of an empty room, while it could be okay to most people, some people have a hard time understanding how large or how small the room is. Okay, if there are no real measurements. So what virtual staging helps, if you fit a grand piano and a couple of chairs, they know just about what the room size is. And also another goal it accomplishes identifying the room. For example, if you have a humongous bed and a dresser, they know it's a bedroom. If there's a table, they know it's a dining room table, because empty rooms tend to look the same. They all look the same. It's the same walls, the same windows, the same everything throughout the house. So people looking online at 20 photos of the same thing, they can't tell which room is which. But when you put a piece of furniture online. And let me take a step further. What is virtual staging? So no one really brings the furniture to the house. We actually stage a photo with we superimpose photorealistic furniture into the photo.
So it looks real.
That's right. It's real furniture. Only no one really brings it into the house and then takes it out. Another benefit of it is there's no need to schedule a move in and moving out, and there's no risk of dinging the walls and scratching the floor. So it's just a convenience, and of course.
And like you said, you have so much of a selection, right?
Correct.
So you can pick whatever you really like, whatever would go with the house finishes as well.
That's correct.
And I agree with you, because I think the staging, empty home, even though it might be a renovated home, versus one which is staged, it makes a big difference, because now the home buyers, you can actually imagine yourself living in the house. You can imagine, how you can set up the furniture like that. So I think it's a great tool to use for sure. Steve, I know aerial, drones over the property.
That's right.
And taking photography has been huge. It's been a big hit.
Yes.
For the past couple of years, right? What can you tell us about that?
Aerial photography has become really popular in the last couple of years, and
more affordable too, I think.
Right. And when you affordable means. Back in the days when we needed to do aerial photography, we had to hire either a plane or a helicopter, and pay an obscene amount of money to go up in the air and photograph the house, and we only get a few minutes to do that. And in order for it to be affordable, at that time, we needed to schedule a few shoots at the same time, and then we were really dependent on the weather, and also New York is really becomes a no-fly zone quite often. So
pretty much all the time.
Right. So we were dependent on a lot of variables. With drones flying, we can actually and by the way, when hiring a drone operator, just make sure they're licensed and bonded and insured. With drones flying, it just makes it easier. We just have to fly under 400 feet but that's more than enough to capture any kind of property, whether it's a waterfront or it's in a busy area, and shows the community and just shows just help understand where they're going to live, whether it's a waterfront property or it's near a golf course or near whatever it is, near shopping area, whatever the benefit the buyers are looking for.
And I mean, so with that said, so you take the photos from the drone and also the video, right, from the drone as well?
Yes, we can do photography and the video.
Does that help to actually have a professional video done in the home?
Absolutely, it does help to promote a home, and for a real estate agent, it definitely helps them promote themselves as well. So what happens when you take video and you promote it on social media outlets like Facebook,
like we are now.
Correct.
On social media, it's video.
That's right.
Live video.
Like Instagram or Facebook, it just brings you all those buyers that are really looking specifically on these on social media. It definitely helps. My main focus with my team is to photograph real estate for rent and for sale.
Now, do you work solely, Tour Factory, only for agents?
Yes.
Or can, let's say, a for sale by owner hire you for the job as well?
Our service is professional service. We only work with real estate agents. We don't really work with unrepresented sellers.
Well, guys, I hope this has been helpful. Okay, for me it was. I learned a lot. Steve, it's always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Steve information is below, so if you guys wanted to contact Steve, I mean, he's great. I've been using it for years. You can definitely, they can contact you, I hope.
Thank you, John, of course.
And if you have any questions, please post it below. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.